everyone, I'm Eszter Kovács and I'm here at Amsterdam Drone Week, and I have a pleasure to talk with Miriam, who is the chief editor at DroneLife. And I'm sure you all read DroneLife, so I don't need to do a deeper introduction because everyone in the industry checks time to time DroneLife. So hi Miriam, maybe you want to introduce yourself just if someone missed the previous section.
Sure. This is our 10th year in the industry and probably our 5th year of coming here to Amsterdam Drone Week. So always fun to connect with you, Eszter, and recap kind of what the themes are that we're seeing here at this show. They change year to year. It's really exciting to see how the European structure is evolving as time goes on.
No, exactly. I cannot agree more. And, we had a corridor chat with Miriam before we started to record, and we agreed in every topic. So it means, we go separate ways, but we conclude the same.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I think maybe the first topic, Miriam, was like smart cities, what cities' roles are regarding this drone integration. Do they have a role or not?
Right.
So what's your take on that?
I think that, UAM is such an exciting topic in the drone industry. We talk about it all the time. We write about it all the time, but really we're still heavy in the technology space. And now as we're getting closer to actually having to integrate vertiports into cities, you've got to communicate with those city stakeholders. And city stakeholders really want to know sort of what is the value proposition? Is this going to have economic benefit for everybody in my community? What are the possible negative impacts? And that sort of process of communication is really starting to get real, where the technology people are having to say, yes, we think this has critical impact, beneficial for your cities. It's worth integrating into your transportation systems. And the cities are having to say, yes, we're willing to invest in learning about this and thinking about how we can best integrate UAM into our communities.
I cannot agree more. I think what is also a big aha moment is that people started to understand it's not enough if a CAA approves your operation, but the cities can say yes or no, so they have a say on it basically. And I think also the first responders, maybe police has a say on your flight path, so people start to understand this like drone operator or eVTOL operator talking to CAA, this is the old-fashioned way now, and you need to have a whole ecosystem on board, on your side, and like this, it may work,
Right. I think all of us need to sort of start communicating that value proposition too, and talking about UAM in the context of first response and of emergencies and safety and, environmental impact. Because, what I hear from the city stakeholders is, hey, if this is just a toy for rich people to get to their summer homes, we're not interested.
Cannot agree more. That's another voice what we heard as well. I think the other topic is use space, right?
Yes.
So use space is a hot topic now years. So it's nothing new under the sun. But the new part, implementation started, tenders went out. From civil aviation side with ANSPs or ANSPs, and they try to figure out who's going to be the supplier. Do we build a UTM or do we buy a UTM, What's going to be the first place where we're going to implement? What are the use cases, right? This is what I'm hearing everywhere.
Right.
So what's your take on that?
So I don't know if you're a Wallace and Gromit fan, but this always makes me think of, Wallace laying down the track as the train is going, So I think that all of the stakeholders here are trying to put the standards in place, put the processes in place as people are actually applying to be certified providers to meet those requirements while the requirements are being developed. So everybody's working really hard, but these first players here, at one session we heard from Wing and from Droneik, both trying to put in their applications to be certified suppliers for U-Space. And it's really challenging. I mean, we're going to kind of owe those first movers a debt of gratitude because they're really paving the way as the standards are being developed. They're really investing in working with aviation authorities and trying to help everybody come together on an agreement of what that certification process is going to look like. Also, it's very expensive. So, I mean, that has to be said. You know, who's going to pay for the certification and the implementation? Is it all on the backs of the providers? And we'll see kind of, does that limit innovation? Is what's happening with that? So that's a really interesting topic. USpace is something we talk about every year here. It's fascinating to kind of watch it evolve to the next step.
But involved, it moved, we have it.
Yes.
In Switzerland, it comes, you know, by end of this year, you know.
Yes.
By end of this year, the first USpace goes out one way and another, you know.
And it's kind of exciting because that will really inform kind of the development of the rest of Europe. And I'm sure that there'll be a lot of lessons learned and trading going back and forth. But I think these first providers are in a really exciting space, but also like, wow, they're having to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
I agree. So the last topic is, where is the money? You know, like, we need the money. Yep. Like, I need money. The industry needs money. You know, you need money. When does it come? What do you think?
So one of the interesting things, Eszter, that I saw at the EASA high-level conference on drones was when Heinrich Holloway said, you know, we are aiming to make Europe a safe and predictable place for investment in the drone industry. And this is a really interesting statement because this shows that they're thinking about regulation from a perspective of
revenue generation.
Exactly. And how are we going to get drones in the air at scale, making money, you know, in commercial ways, so that those startups can keep going and get investment, and they know that they have a path to revenue. So really exciting to talk about that. And there have been several different sessions sort of centered around how do you make money right now today under European regulations. And it absolutely can be done. I mean, you were talking to Bobby Feely.
I met a few guys. Yeah, exactly, Bobby.
Yes, and who's had investment. And there's all kinds of ways that people are making money right now today. But I think that definitely EASA and the regulators are on board with trying to ensure that the regulations back that up.
You know, I think this is the first show when I talked to people and they said we are equal or we are making revenue. That was the first year when people said to me this, you know.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that's great. That's good. You know, like, can you explain me where or how, you know, like. So, and they say out it publicly, so it's good. I think this is a very, very good direction, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, Bobby just said in a previous interview this year he gonna be equal, you know, with the delivery.
Yes.
He's not gonna lose money on delivery.
Fantastic.
Which is like, wow, you know, like it's a big announcement.
That's a huge milestone to
And now he flies in Texas. Did
I
you
know.
Like,
we're happy to welcome
US, you know, he went to the US. Okay,
I have to say one more thing, Eszter, which is a shout out to our colleagues around the world. I saw that you are doing a session on women in the industry tomorrow. So so happy to see that happening here in Europe.
Yes,
Congratulations.
We do it every year. And I think like what I understood finally, some conference organizers understood this must be a topic. You cannot leave out from the agenda. Exactly.
So
we get in there, the organizers helping. So, you know, exactly. Great. Thanks, Miriam, a lot.
Thanks so much for having me.